Hello everyone and welcome to the next best of 3 here in the Intel Extreme Masters Season 2 group stage. Still play day number 4, still group A, and this time it's going to be NightWolf versus Human with NightWolf, the NightDev player from Belarus, spawning on the left hand side of Echo Ars. He's starting with Alter, Moonwar, and with the Ancient of War in front of the green camp. Whereas XyLigan, the Russian human player, spawning on the right hand side of Echo Ars, starts with Alter Barracks. Farm number 1 and soon farm number 2, I imagine. So both of the players currently have 3 points in this group stage. XyLigan, he was able to beat both Elqua and Hasuops in human versus undead matchups, but the 3 points that he earned against Elqua obviously don't count anymore, and he lost the best of 3 against Knopf. So yeah, he is at 3 points currently, and NightWolf is at 3 points as well, beating Knopf, going for the Warden first by the way, but losing to both Hasuops and Elfie previously. So both have had their experiences, very different experiences, against Undead previously. And just to quickly recap the stakes for you guys, if NightWolf loses here, then he's going to be out of the tournament. No chance anymore for him to advance. Whereas if NightWolf wins, he's going to be still in the tournament and he's going to have to hope for the best on playday number 5. But if he wins, then that means that Elfie is going to be rank 1 of this group at the end of the group stage for sure, because XyLigan at this point is the only one who can theoretically surpass him by winning both this match and his last match, which is going to be between XyLigan and Elfie on playday number 5. So creeping is starting here with the Warden, creeping with the IEM is going to start as well. It looks like he's going to go for a quick expansion here, very telling that he's pulling 4 militia here, which is the number which usually points towards the instant expansion down here. The Wisp is floating around in front of the human base, is gonna scout what's happening here shortly. Tower of XyLigan sees the Warden right now, I imagine. Yeah, definitely saw the entire creep camp being taken here, so he needs, so he knows that he's somewhat free to just creep ahead at his natural expansion, which he did. Claws for the IEM, and the Wisp did not get detonated. Perhaps he didn't realize that there were claws and he expected to be able to survive one more hit, which he clearly wasn't. First tower is being built immediately. Harassment could actually be quite painful here, as many of the militia have taken a lot of damage. Imagine just one Fan of Knives in here, but then again, Fan of Knives with a level 1 Warden, usually not too sustainable in terms of, long term. But yeah, the Warden level 2 staying passive for the time being. He's going to continue creeping down here. Added Ancient of War number 2, and he's staying on tier 1. He did not get a Hunter's Hall thus far, so perhaps he's going to take right now as soon as he's getting 325 gold. Or this is going to be some crazy Warden mass range with archers and mercenaries. But yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on the NightDev's main base to find out about what exactly is happening. XyLigan continues creeping here, getting boots, dust, selling his town portal even against the Warden. Interesting choice. But yeah, with the Staff of Teleportation, at least he has some means of escaping here. The Force Sword Berserker has been bought, and the Warden is going to pick up something here, which is the Ring of Protection, which is not exactly the item he was craving for. Very quick expansion here by NightWolf, so he's not deciding to go for a big push, neither does he decide to go for a quick tech here. So the expansion is his choice, and is he? No. Ah, okay, he's probably gonna want to staff there and eventually creep it once his harassment here is done. But with only the IEM on the left hand side of the map, I don't think his damage output, especially against the Warden here, is nearly high enough to really threaten this upcoming Tree of Life of NightWolf. So NightWolf is looking decently so far. Expansion is still being built. Shop is coming. Town Hall is coming. Arcane Tower is finished. And the IEM didn't even use the Staff of Teleportation. Is he calling militia or anything? No. I think he could have saved himself quite a bit of time here by using that, but I don't know, maybe he wants to use it afterwards eventually. Since the staff has 90-second cooldown, you wanna, yeah, make sure to use it wisely. Finding Talisman of Evasion here. Does he have anything on the left-hand side of the map? Well, he's got this tower. Maybe he can staff there eventually. Not quite sure. Warden in the meantime, level 3. 2 circlets for her. Didn't pay attention previously. I imagine one was found here and one was found here. Or maybe she just bought one of them. Then again, the Warden, not really the classical hero to buy a circlet with. Town Hall is finally finishing. Took Hooligan quite a bit of time there. And the Warden is here. Found one footman and is going to continue going for the next one. Yeah, level 2 Shadow Strike here. She skilled something already with her 3rd skill point. I assume it's probably going to be Blink. But then again, maybe not. The AM is here. Perhaps you wanted to try to cancel the upcoming Entangled Goldmine here. But that's gonna take a while because there's no Nature's Blessing on the Tree of Life. And, you know, he's not all too quick. But at the same time, he's not all too fragile to a lone AM. Even though he's got level 2 Water Elementals either. Especially with the Forest Row Shadow Priest being here, who's got plenty of mana to dispel Water Elementals. Hunter's Hall is coming now, as it's going to finish slightly later than the tier 2 tag of NightWolf. Hooligan's trying to win as much time as he can here, but I think, yeah, damage output shouldn't be enough for this Hunter's Hall to fall. NightWolf should pay attention to his Wisp here. AM is staffing out. He's got the Priest down here. He's got the shop finished down here. There's no way in hell that this Fan of Knives is seriously gonna threaten him. Let's take a look at the Humans tech. Still hasn't started, so he is really taking his time here. There isn't a single tower yet in the base, and keep in mind this one is open, so there is the chance of this becoming a real weakness for Hooligan. Well, it is a real weakness, but there's the chance of it being seriously exposed and made use of by NightWolf. Just keep in mind the game that Miu played against Hot on Echo Eyes as well, where things were looking okay-ish for Miu, but he hadn't properly defended his main base either, and Hot just went for a big attack with, I think, DH and a lot of range units, and Miu just lost everything basically to it because the base wasn't properly defended. So the Warden did not scout that here, turning around, seeing a footman heading towards the bottom. Now, with a Panda second, he continues creeping immediately, doesn't want to waste any time. So far, I really like this gameplay by NightWolf here. Hooligan now is attacking the Entangled Goldmine with his AM. Oh, now he might be forced to use his staff. Oh, the staff still has cooldown since he was in the main base previously. But with his footman and the Forest Troll Shadow Priest coming in from the side, it's not as easy for NightWolf to just chase away Hooligan's army here. But yeah, with the Warden being there as well, that is definitely possible for him to do. Water Metal gets picked off. Warden not quite level 4 yet. AM not nearly level 4 yet. He's just running around. He's not really doing all too much here. Looks like he's gonna want to continue creeping here, but at least NightWolf sees this. The Warden does have a staff though. She could just staff up here and try to punish this creeping by Hooligan, and perhaps even last hit the Ogre Magi with a Shadow Strike, but it looks like he decides not to do so, and therefore the info portion is going to Hooligan for free, as well as the level 3.5 on the AM. Now the Warden is coming in. This Forest Shadow Priest is dead. Doesn't even need to chase him anymore. After the level 2 Shadow Strike, the Warden is taking some more damage here. Surround, I believe, but she can easily fight out of it towards the bottom. Next Shadow Strike on one of the footmen. That one's falling as well. Level 4 on the Warden right now. That means if he's got Blink, then now the Blink only costs 10 mana. So it's somewhat close to for free in terms of mana. The next footman is being taken down by Shadow Strike here. And this turns out to be quite expensive for NightWolf, for Hooligan here, who's about to lose another footman. The Warden should be pretty safe here. Blink up, yeah, blinking up, escaping, and using the staff to get out of this one alive, to get back to the movers, to heal back up. Tier 3 is coming, one lore has finished, second lore is coming as well. And Hooligan, he's going tier 3 here, so it looks like he doesn't feel like he can win this anymore with the classical, you know, 2 Arcane Sanctum, 1 Workshop, Caster, Breaker, Mortar team push. Which I guess there is quite a good reason to think that, because his tier 2 tech was extremely late, the counter expansion was not really delayed all too much, and this panda can easily get up to level 3 before such a push could occur. So I think going tier 3 might be the better choice here for the human player. NightWolf seeing that right now. MK is about to spawn.
Ready for action.
Warden just quickly solo creeping this one. And yeah, usually with this tier 2 push with, as I said, Breaker, Mortar and Castro, you want to hit a nice timing before the NightWolf heroes are going completely crazy. XyLigan also helps, of course, getting this panda to level 3. Before the NightWolf heroes are going completely crazy, and before... That was a weird blink. Perhaps anticipating a bolt there, but that didn't happen. Yeah, before the NightWolf heroes are going too crazy, before the NightWolf can establish the nice 2-base economy and, you know, build a lot of units with it and have a big bear army. But in this case, there was no way in hell that that was going to happen, because the Warden's already level 4, Panda's already level 3. He's getting ready to build a lot of bears here, maybe... Okay, not in this case, but I'm assuming an Ancient of Wind could have been added as well for some Fairy Dragons before a tier 2 push of Hooligan could have occurred, so that's not gonna happen here. He's going tier 3, and thus far, well, adding an attack upgrade for, well, mortars, tanks, riflemen. Those types of units, flying machines perhaps, we'll see what he's gonna end up choosing to go for here, because thus far he hasn't really shown the unit composition he's gonna end up going for here. Panda denying one of the archers here. Another footman gets picked off. The Warden decides to go for the Mountain King here. The Warden should be extremely safe though, because this bear can cast Rejuvenation unless he decides to suicide against the IEM here. Then again, the Panda with the Breath of Fire is also quite the threat to the Mountain King already, and the Mountain King is falling due to the double damage over time. The bear has actually survived and the IEM has fallen as well. What? To only a few archers, the Dryad and the bear here. He clearly was busy microing on 2 fronts here, and that is more or less already... Is it the final nail in the coffin already for Hooligan? He's going for double workshop here. He's getting the first tank, and that's what apparently is going to be his approach here. Triple workshop. So yeah, going for this tank play is definitely a type of approach that allows comebacks in both human against NightWolf and human against undead. But I mean, he's just gonna... Wow. Yeah, he's just, for one, gonna take a lot of damage right now against this tier 3 army, because he doesn't have a huge load of towers protecting this expansion, and if he's going for tanks, he's not getting any really useful units to fight. And at the same time, even if he's getting a couple of tanks out, if he's winning time with these tanks, there is no second expansion to go for in the meantime. And usually, unless you're extremely ahead on one expansion already, in which case you just go for a big tier 2 push, like mentioned previously, then you cannot win with tanks with 2 base against 2 base. That's just not gonna happen. The Warden level 5 in the meantime with the Lightning Shield, 72 supply for NightWolf. There is no staff on the Panda, perhaps a TP by the Warden, or just staffing away against 19 for Hooligan. Yeah, he's got, what, 1 tank out? Yes, the 1 tank I think is not going to be able to kill NightWolf here, and this looks beyond lost. And there's the GG by Hooligan, losing both the heroes there. It was definitely, yeah, the final nail in the coffin for Hooligan. Even before that, he wasn't looking particularly great in this game. The Warden got up to level 4 quite easily, quite convincingly. The counter expansion, as I said, hasn't really been delayed. And NightWolf has done a very good job, despite his tier 2 tech being somewhat late. His Panda got crept up very nicely, very quickly. Very quick level 3 on him as well. And therefore, he easily made up for his delayed tier 2 tech. While at the same time, Hooligan's tier 2 tech was also delayed by a lot. And Hooligan really wasn't able to make up for that. And he was, even before his heroes went down, he was already in a position where he couldn't go for the strategy that you usually aspire to go for an Echo Eyes as a human player, because tier 3 on Echo Eyes, tier 3 generally speaking is usually not gonna work if the NightWolf gets the counter expansion up so quickly, if there's no third base to take for the human. So basically what you want to do is get a couple of tanks, perhaps harass at multiple locations, like one location with the heroes, one location with the tanks, and tower up a third base in the meantime. But that's just, that cannot happen on Echo Eyes. So going for tier 3 usually in that matchup is already a sign of the game not going the way you want it to. And then of course on top of it, losing everything didn't help him either. That's the 1-0 for NightWolf, and the second map will be Tarina's Stand.